Okay. Now I believe that you all have gone through the PPT of Hero Child Scapegoat, that is the black sheep lost child mascot. And yesterday I have given you a small poster. So you all can figure out who are the souls, who are the self, and who is the ego portion. Okay. Now today we are going to talk about the more deeper issue the hero child, the scapegoat, the lost child, and the mascot goes through. Okay. Exactly, the hero child. Now tell me, who is the hero child? Anyone?
The hero
Someone
child
with
is the
family.
golden child. Yeah.
Yeah,
Picture
the golden
perfect.
child.
Picture
The
perfect.
parents look up to them. They are very ambitious.
Yes. Now, what is the major issue with all this sort of hero child? They are highly workaholic. They won't do anything apart from work. No party, no recreation, no visiting of friends, nothing. They are highly on the workaholic spectrum. I would share a video for that. And they prefer to marry someone who is dependent on that workaholic or that hero child. They don't prefer who is independent. They won't. They want, yes, Ved, tell me.
So, ma'am, these people want to be the primary source of earning. I mean, is it so? They,
Yes, yes,
yeah, dependency होना चाहिए partner का उन पे. तो I think they can perform their role better like that.
yes, yes. And also they feel that the one who is getting married to me have to be dependent on me. खुद से कोई काम करेगा तो it's not accepted by the hero child. Because they need the praiser. Like मेरे को praise चाहिए. I need the spotlight. अरे he is only earning or she is only earning. Yes, Neha.
And I was telling it is something like they want that superiority to be the above of everything. To be handled, each and every decision will be regarding me. What I will decide will be the last. Like this, so the spotlight will be me. I am the one to get
Yes, 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 yes.
attention, central attention,
Attention
like
seeker,
this.
a sort
Is
of
it right?
narcissism.
Is it connected?
Yes, a sort of narcissism. Clear with hero child. Next is the scapegoat. Now, who was the scapegoat? The black sheep of the family who was being
The
blamed by,
the blamed, yeah, the one who gets
yes, the blame of the family. Now, the thing is that they won't have any sort of confidence. Even if they are doing something right, also, they need self-approval, like approval from others. Did I do it right? Did I do it right? Constant approval. And it has been seen, and here this I have also observed while working in the rehabs, that they are high, they have an addiction issue. Now, addiction, I won't generalize it, but I have seen that they have issues with porn addiction, pornography. Now, I have seen, but addicting behavior or addiction means it can be all the abuses, like all sort of substance use and abuse. Clear with the scapegoat. Next is the lost child. Who was the lost child?
Someone who does not get enough recognition in the family. They are lonely.
Yeah, they
Yes.
don't have friends.
Yeah, they don't have friends. And mostly, and I would definitely, like I have given, it's not I would be giving, I have given 2 research paper on lost child, and they are dying at the age of either 30 or within the age of 45. They don't survive mostly because they don't have anyone to share. Even they don't have a friend also. Like they prefer to stay all alone, and it's not possible. हम लोग को कोई ना कोई तो चाहिए. I need either my partner or my mom or my dad. But these are those sort of individuals who are never satisfied. They are not at all satisfied. They for this reason only they are not living a very healthier life. They are not happy, and hence they also commit suicide. Die early matlab it's not due to any sort of chronic issue. Definitely it can come, but mostly they commit suicide. They do have issues with depression, feeling of helplessness, that I don't have anyone in my life. Next, yes, Dr. Tripti.
So when I'm reading all this, I'm wondering, I have a client like that. So where will a client with emotional eating, like craving and emotional eating would fall in?
See,
Scapegoat?
scapegoat, yes,
Scapegoat.
yes.
Ma'am,
Because that is also a sort of addicting behavior.
Addictive behavior, yes, yes. And also one of the major thing is that people of scapegoat and lost child, they have a high libido, but scapegoat can come up, they can convey their feeling, but lost child, that yeah, I want to perform sex, it's pretty difficult for them. They do have high libido, but the thing is that they won't communicate with others, that yeah, I am going through this problem of sex, I need to have sex, I need to have all this sort of things, they are not going to tell. And lost child, if it is a girl, they have issues with their menstruation cycle, hormonal issues are highly visible. When I,
ma'am, sorry,
yes,
if they have menstrual issues, they won't come up and tell us about it because of the feeling, because all of this while they are withdrawing themselves from from the family disputes, etc. So, and they are just within themselves. So there is no kind of a social support, sort of. So their idea of having a social support is completely eradicated right from the beginning, right? So
yes,
that is the
yes,
major rationale of not. Also, what Dr. Trupti mentioned about her client having emotional eating, am I correct me if I'm wrong? It could also go in mascot for some reason. I'll tell you why. There could be a possibility, like scapegoat to jayega hi obviously because of addicting behaviors and emotional eating hai. So because some emotions are not conveyed and they are lot of secrets also depending on something, depending on the partners. यहाँ पे तो partners है, but mostly their true things are not coming out. So they just want to. I feel emotional eating. But there was this book that I was reading because I wanted to do health psychology. So there they have mentioned that sometimes they depend more on the easier stuff and more coping stuff to deal with their emotions. So just just a possibility हो सकता है स्केप वो
it
तो
is,
obviously रहेगा ही.
it can. And all of this, like all the four sort of dysfunctional child who have issues with their eating habits,
Hmm.
all sort of eating disorders, especially the mask or the happy ones. We claim that they are happy, but actually they are not happy. Now this mascot are those sort of individuals who have lots and hell lots of secrets. They are suppressed with so many secrets that they don't prefer to tell. Now, why they don't prefer to tell, any idea?
Ma'am, they might think they will be judged of what they are saying, or maybe what they want to share about
Okay.
themselves.
And
Ma'am, maybe they also believe that who cares? Maybe this thought comes to them that even if they open up, they would feel like nobody cares. So maybe that's why they withdraw themselves from sharing anything about themselves.
okay, and one more thing related to with their parents. It's a deeper psychological issue that if I'm having any issue or if I feel that I need to have sex or I am going through that problem, if I say someone else apart from my mom and dad, definitely my mom and dad are going to shout at me. For that reason, they won't communicate. But even if they are communicating, they have a thought process that if my mom and dad comes to know, they are again going to get sad. And I don't want my mom and dad to feel sad. I want them to be happy. As similar as hero child. And again, this sort of mascot usually marries very dependent personality. And mascot and hero child in sort of psychological issue are more or less similar. But the only thing is you have to figure out who is more workaholic and who is not. That spectrum have a very fine line between the difference of hero child and lost child. Sorry, hero child and the mascot. Now there are questionnaires like worksheets I have given, but definitely I would be marking which one to do where and for what children. You can even identify. Now for this scapegoat, lost child, and mascot, and not only three, all the four. If you know HTP, you can identify the level of trauma they have gone through. Especially if you know TAT, interpretation of TAT, or 16PF, it goes wonder. Now there is a notion that if you are not a clinical psychologist with RCI registration, you can't do. Definitely, I agree to that point. But for your understanding as a healer or as a therapist, you can. You are not sharing any report with them now. Within the session, you are showing a picture, and again you are going back to any sort of therapy, whatever therapy you all want to do. But for making some notes, for pointing out their own issue to them, or for understanding as a healer also, we need to understand that. Generally, I do. I would go, I do. But I don't share any report like TAT, 16PF, WashUp. I don't share any report. Clear about this deeper issues? Okay. Now is it is the screen visible? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Now, addiction and mental disorder and inner child. Do you think there is a connection between all these three, like all these two? Anyone can come up with an example. I gave so many case studies, so anyone can come up.
I can.
Yes, yes. हाँ जी बोलो.
Addiction and mental health disorders. I can come with the addiction part
हाँ
as
हाँ.
well, and I can come up with both actually. So there is a time where this one client had a lot of would say had a lot of mother wound, and which was not, I think, expressed at a very young age. So he used to have his parents used to work, both his parents. He used to have a elder sibling who was very weird to him, and he used to not like him and not appreciate him, and they used to have these sibling fights. He used to hit him. So it was a lot of a sibling wound, which was a lot of abuse and a lot of physical abuse and etc. Then the mother wound was also present somewhere because he used to stay with a house help, some like a nanny. Though the nanny was very kind and loving, thankfully that patch was better. Then as this person grew up, this person then went into then he got married, he had a child, etc. Then he got married. After that, he slipped into alcoholism. Uh, so addiction was there, and there was severe amount of alcoholism, and right. So the alcoholism was there. Now there were a lot of addiction rehabilitation that was done. A lot of so he had a counselor back then who kind of ruled this out. The childhood. See, there was no inner child healing done, or there was nothing. But I'm just giving you an example. What the counselor had told us that in the childhood there is something that has been wounded or that has been impacted so much that the escape of and numbing those painful feelings, this boy chose alcohol over that. Uh, that's one example. Another example was a mental health disorder. I can point it out to you.
Hmm.
The current client that I'm seeing also उनके साथ तो मैं proper inner child healing का भी चालू ही करने वाली हूँ. Started with him. He is a 19-year-old young boy and who has faced a lot of emotional, physical abuse, neglect from his parents, from his sister. Again, parents wound भी है, mother wound, parents wound है at the same time. Societal ये भी है, rejection भी है. Society rejection भी है. But as a child, he was rejected by the society, by the children who he played with. Sister also, he rejected him, neglected him, beat him. As he grew up, he started finding, obviously, there was a lot of abandonment, lot of neglect, lot of fear of abandonment, constant. So it went into anxious attachment style. After it went into anxious attachment style, now on if you see, there was a lot of self-esteem issues. There was a lot of self-esteem issues, a lot of negative self-view. So I worked with him on all of these aspects. When as I read further, so I got this case during my internship. So as I also finished my master's, I still see him. And now as he's progressing, I can see that, because of the actual inner child thing is going to go in. So he got attracted to a lot of unhealthy romantic partners as well. Like last time what we were discussing. Yes. So I have these two examples which says that inner child healing, addiction, mental health disorders are a part of um, are a part of it. And I feel I myself have been having this.
Hmm.
I think I also, in my own therapy, I have done inner child healing for myself as well, and which helped me with a lot of. I never had as an eating disorder or something, but lot of emotions that wanted to be expressed, wanted to be felt, secured, safe, were probably chose a platform of eating, right? So द ईटिंग डिसऑर्डर डिसऑर्डर नहीं बोल सकते बट ईटिंग का एक जरिया हो गया वो ऐसे
बिल्कुल
हाँ माय
बिल्कुल
गॉड बस हो गया मेरा आज के लिए कोटा खत्म
कोटा खाता
कोटा खत्म
Huh, bilkul. Like as I was talking, see what happened as we are likely mentioned that people with issues coming up. For example, I would give an example. If anyone of you all are working as a school psychologist or as a school counselor, you all can see that students are talking about that, ma'am, do you know? Okay, I'll talk about my own case. It was during my internship. It's not my own case, but during my internship, and I loved that boy who came up. He was a 9 years old child, male child. Now, the psychiatrist, the major reason why he came up was his behavior that his mom and dad brought up to, and it was a non-government hospital, a private hospital. Now, I was there, the psychiatrist was there, and that time I called myself as definitely as an internship, but like intern student, but doctor called me as junior psychologist. Fine, okay. So while the psychiatrist was asking some sort of question, and he was like, Didi, do you want to see something? I said, whatever doctor is asking, please answer the question, then I would definitely see. And the child was so cute. He said, no, 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 I would definitely tell the doctor, but आपको कुछ देखना है क्या? And then the doctor said me that, Shraddhanjali, he is resonating with you because of some age issues. You can have a word. Because the doctor was over 50. I felt very bad. So I had a word with him, and he took out like a small sort of, uh, it was a container. I felt most of like a container. I said, what is that? देखना है आपको देखना है, and he was literally happy. So the moment he opened, some sort of very bad smell came up. I was like, and then I understood something. So I was like, what is this? He said me, Didi, it's a wine, don't say. And he said me like, it's wine, don't say. I said, okay. And the doctor knew that something is happening with the client, and Shraddhanjali would definitely tell me afterward. So I asked the boy that from where did you get this wine? You are only 9 years old. It's not nine in the class nine. It was only 9 years old. I said, from where did you get this wine? Didi, do you know? Yesterday my mom and dad was having a party. I said, okay. And did they give you to drink it? No, no, they did not give me to drink it. I was like, then how did you get it? Didi, हमने चोरी कर लिया. I said, okay, you should like now hide it. And then he opened up about his story that every single day, whenever his mom and dad, and definitely his mom and dad was going on with this phase of addiction, and the moment after having 5 to 6 weeks, the mom is out. And now the dad physically abuses the mother, and the boy sees that. And since 6 years or 7 years, he said that he was seeing that the mom was being getting like physically abused by the father. Now I don't know what happened. Same sort of similar case, and this doctor again during my internship period, this doctor was seeing this girl of 21 years since he was in class 12. Now it has been a long time when he was seeing similar case was there. Now, after 6 months, because the internship was of 6 months, I remember. Now, when I asked the doctor that how is the son right now, he said the doctor was pretty clear that Shraddhanjali, after he turns or the moment he is entering the phase of teenagers or adolescence, he would have an addiction. And he said me on the last day of his treatment, not his treatment, but on my last day, he got some like a big bottle like this, and he showed me that Didi, I have collected. Now, every single day, whenever his mom and dad used to drink, he used to take the small bottle and he used to pour, he used to collect. And during whenever his mom and dad was not there, he used to drink with one spoon, full spoon. And he was bought for other reason, but his mom and dad not knew that he was also into that phase. So addiction do have issues. Again, similar cases I had gone through during my private practice that people, as Ria likely said, that people with addiction or any sort of mental disorders, they do have issues with eating. I'm not talking about disorder. Either they are eating too much, majorly I'm sort of bulimia, or they are not eating. That is a very like in a small population. But eating too much, cup, it's likely to have depression. People who eats too much, abhi pizza, abhi burger, abhi kuch, within a span of half an hour, you are seeing something like a bill of 5,000, 7,000, and it's a single bill. So people with eating disorder, again not a disorder, people with eating lifestyle or bulimia, they do have depression. It's a common fact. The more you encounter them, you can find out their inner child. Now people say that no, inner child बोल के कुछ नहीं होता, inner child बोल के बहुत कुछ होता है. I don't know. There was a film like I hope Ria have only mentioned a reel in the group. In the same video I have seen, like Dia Zindagi. Alia Bhatt's inner child was not healed up. If a baby's inner child is not healed up, that individual would have some sort of disorders. Especially addiction. Now addiction can be anything. How many of you have read The Lifestyle of Charles Shobhuraj? Ved might have. Ved, did you read?
What, ma'am?
Charles Shobhuraj, Bikini Killer.
No.
No, yeah, Rajarshi have left. Ted Bundy?
Yeah, Ted Bundy, I know, yeah. A lot. Ted
A lot.
Bundy, Dahmer, yeah.
Now, while I did not go for a very intense training of criminal or neither of forensic, but whatever training we did, like I did a only 3 months course of criminal and 6 months of forensic. Our teacher, it was not Krupa, definitely, it was Pooja Tomar. So she said us, people with addiction or people with unhealed trauma during the childhood are likely to turn any sort of criminal activity. And it's a proven fact. Anyone like Rajoshi have read the story of Charles Shobra, that is the Bikini killer, why he used to kill any sort of like woman and particularly woman? Because during his childhood, he have seen his mother getting physically abused by his father. Anyone who is seeing mom getting beaten up by father, father getting beaten up by dad, like father getting beaten up by mother, they are likely to have this sort of feeling that either woman is an item or woman is an item. And in one of our interview, I remember Charles Shomura said, women are mainly an item. So addiction have a lot to do with inner child. There are questionnaires which I have given. Again, as Ved said in the last class, that you all need to segregate definitely. Because I have all those in hard copies, but also in soft copies also. So now I don't take the pain of segregating. I gave all the questionnaires. The moment addiction is coming, if you are working in a rehab also, please don't forget to talk about the inner child. Because at that time, you can understand they do have issues. People who are not seeking a proper treatment, they would have issues with self-esteem, they do have issues with addiction, stress, anxiety, depression. I'm not telling that all of us inner child are too, like, literally healed up. No. Yes, Vince.
So, ma'am, when I read about Ted Bundy and his cases, so he had that habit of killing women and having their head keeping
हाँ,
them, yeah, at his place as a souvenir. So that might also be, matlab, that must have come from his childhood traumas as well.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. Now, as Ria was saying, or as in the last class I was saying about roller coaster, do you all remember that I talked about roller coaster and an unhealthy relationship? Have you ever like seen roller coaster or sat in a roller coaster? Why do we sit? We know that is very frightening. कुछ भी हो सकता है. Like the Ferris wheel वाला child. कुछ भी हो सकता है. It's very unpredictable. But still we enter into any relationship. Why? Any idea?
Ma'am, for thrill.
Thrill, okay. And see, the roller coaster is somewhat like this, or it's like this. गोल गोल घूमते हैं. Okay, and I don't know the name of that uh, thing that which goes right now and again wave and again this sort ups and down wala. I forgot that name. So people we know that it's pretty frightening, but due to thrill we enter. Same is for relationship and same is for healing one. This one. I did not write anything, but I am explaining what exactly happens. Suddenly we are over here, okay? We are over here. It's a roller coaster. Imagine you are sitting in a roller coaster. One fine week or 1 month. For 1 month or 1 week. Not 1 month, it has to be 1 week. So much love, so much of care, so much of attention, so much of intimacy, everything is happening. Suddenly you are picked down. That individual is ghosting you. No reply, no text, nothing, not even responding to your call. Again on fine morning, he texts you and you are literally happy. Again for another next 2 weeks or 3 weeks, nothing. But why? Due to that thrill, dopamine rush. Definitely oxytocin is there. I'm not talking about that, but this is due to the dopamine rush. And it has been like I was reading a book again, I forgot it has been a long year back. We tend to attract people of similar wounds. Mom, dad, parents, sister, brother, grandma, anyone. For example, my father wound is not healed up. Okay, for example, I would be attracting someone whose father wound is not healed up. And it's not manifestation. It's like we tend to attract that sort of people. Parent wound. Neither of the parents was emotionally unavailable. Now we tend to attract those sort of people who gives too much of attention, too much of love. But that love tends to be claustrophobic for some of us. That अरे बाप रे, whenever he is going, अरे where are you? बेबी आपने कुछ खाया है क्या? अरे खाया है तो क्यों बोलूं को क्या खाई हूँ मैं? We feel that it's too claustrophobic, but it's very happening. It's very healthier for them because they tend to attract that people. It's due to this. Yes, Ria.
Ma'am, there could be a very minimal possibility of this, right? Relationship attracted, like the relationship you were there and you were attracted to similar wound people. Like depend, there can be possibility of this, but हो सकता है. Is it like कि ऐसे rare cases में नहीं भी हो सकता?
Maybe हो सकता है, but most of the time, if someone is coming up from a very toxic relationship and that individual don't want to end the relationship, होता है ना कि yeah, after calling my boyfriend thousand of time, he's not receiving the call and I don't want to break up or go out from that. Why so? And it has been mostly with school groups like school, colleges. Ask
So
them why
they,
you're not wanting to go.
so there can be a possibility of attracting to somebody who has
Yes,
similar wounds or unhealthy relationship attractions होने के chances.
yes,
How
yes,
I saw
yes,
with my client also, because of
yes,
the wounds that he has, he's mostly attracted to people who are very. One person I understand he was attracted to who had similar father wound, so still somewhat similar. So there can be rare chances of this, but हो सकता है chances is what you're saying.
है.
Oh, the next topic is unhealthy relationships.
हाँ. And ये भी हो सकता है like yes खुशबू.
Yes, ma'am. I actually had the concept of love bombing I had seen on Instagram.
Hmm.
So the concept was that firstly they will give 100% of love, then they will stop it for some time, then they will give 95%, 5% will be less, but the person will feel, yeah, it's okay, something he is giving or something she is giving, and then finally it drops to 10%, but still like the little droplets they live for. So maybe it could be that reason that they don't want
Yes,
to give.
yes, yes, yes. And also, I don't know how many of you have seen, but I won't say a friend, but she have forwarded a request in LinkedIn, and then I came to know that she is a Reiki and crystal healer. So it was a normal conversation. I was having a word with her that how exactly to buy the crystals because she was selling, and I needed few of my crystal for my own. So then I realized, then suddenly I saw a LinkedIn post that where she said she was 30 and her boyfriend's age was completely disaster, that is 62. I was like, Are baap re, ye kya ho gaya? So out of curiosity, that just to prove that whether my learnings or my practical knowledges are picture perfect or not, I won't say picture perfect, but are solid or not. I asked her contact number and I was having a long conversation for more than 45 minutes. Then I realized that it was a parent wound for her as well as her for her 62-year boyfriend. I would say boyfriend because they are not married because of the social like stigmas and everything because they are 30 and 62, so many years gap. But again, when I was having a conversation, she said me that her mom and dad was working, for that reason she had parenthood. Similar case with her partner also, he had a parenthood. And suddenly it was out of nowhere. She stays in Kolkata, boyfriend stays in California. No connection, nothing. The boyfriend is a software, like is not Abhi, but was a software, yeah, like sort of engineer. And it was nothing. And they did not even meet, like no physical meet. It was only the emotional connection with them. So it's so I won't say unabsolute, but it's so out of the box thought that he connected or both of them connected, but it was the parent wound which brought them together. Now, when I was talking with her over phone, she said me my boyfriend is calling over WhatsApp, and I remember for the last 30 minutes she was constantly telling me. I felt so like, अरे बाप रे बाप इतना कौन call करता है? But again, I realize it has to be because she is getting the attention from her boyfriend and her boyfriend is also getting the attention from her and they are fulfilling the gap. So that is what we attract to. It's a sort of unhealthy, I would say, because no physical meetup. She don't know how even the 62 years old man would look like. But what I have seen, he don't look like 65. But yeah, definitely his date of birth claims that. So this is why we attract to. There are so many concepts. See, as you said, love bombarding. I heard of a concept which is called Kampa. Now, Kampa is almost this similar. Snake wala relationship. We know snakes are very harmful, but we don't come out from that because we tend to fill the gap जो भी हम लोग का inner child में था, not inner child, childhood में था. So this is why we tend to attract to people who are not healthy because of our inner child wounds. We are not allowed, like we don't know what sort of wound we are having. Few of us knows that yeah, this was my inner child wound, but still we are figuring out. As like LGBTQ, the questioning portion, like there is a term called in LGBT like questioning. They are not sure about their or like orientation, about their sexuality, gender fluid. They are also not sure. Next is lost of childhood memory. Now, as in the like timeline activity, Dr. Tripti said that she was not being able to recall, right? Most of you also, even I would also say, I don't remember what had happened to me from 0 to 5 or even 0 to 10. If someone shows me the picture, then only I can remember. But even after showing picture also, as I was telling that हम लोग picture लाने के बोलते हैं in the session, there are people who says please don't talk about that. Why so? It's not that I'm not talking about loss right now. Definitely, I would be talking about loss, but there are some individuals who are constantly, who don't even want to talk about their life. They would come and say, tell you that if okay, we can talk from 16, or if okay, we can talk from 20. But before that, please don't talk. Why? Any idea why they don't want to talk?
So
That if
To
they don't want
experience the
to talk
same
if
amount of
they're
people.
sorry.
Sorry, ma'am. Go ahead, please. Go ahead.
Okay.
yes,
So if they don't want to talk, or like they won't want to talk, only if they're aware that they are in pleasant events. But what if they are not aware?
if they are not aware, I understand. Like I am also not aware what had happened. For
Mm.
most of us, it's the same case. If I ask Valentina right now that Valentine, say me, how was your childhood during 1 year or 2 year? Most of us. But I'm talking about a particular age from 6 or 7. Like we do remember that, yeah, हम लोग का birthday हुआ था. The moment, for example, I have one picture in my house where I was cutting a cake in a white. People were there. But even after showing that picture, if my mother or father would have said me that, do you remember that? I would say, no. Is it me? No, I can't. It can't be me. होता है. If I would like to tell it, it was a 15 years old boy who said I did not celebrate my birthday in my 12th, like in my 12th age. But the mom that said, but Shraddhanjali, just look at the picture, we are celebrating. And they came up with the YouTube videos and everything, blah blah blah. Still, he was questioning, no, I did not celebrate. They are telling lies. But I could figure it out that particular birthday boy was that boy itself. Why? Because of certain sort of trauma. Then at least it had taken more than 20 sessions for me to dive deeper why the boy is not telling. Because 15 and 12 is not a huge gap. 15 में जो like he was in 15, no, not 12, 13, sorry, 13, and it's only 2 years gap and he was completely on the phase of denial. नहीं हुआ था. Then the moment I started digging, what exactly I found out, he was in a traumatic situation the moment he entered his 13th wala birthday. And he said before the birthday, before 10 or 20 days, chalo le lete 1 month, he lost his sister, own sister. But because of all the arrangements was made, the mom and dad, like both the parents, did not want to cancel or did not want to make him feel bad, and hence they celebrated. But still, he don't want to talk about how his sister died, and I don't have a complete information how his sister died because that was a very traumatic incident for him, and they were twins. Like he was better, like the boy was elder and the sister was younger. Only few seconds gap was there. That was very traumatic incident. For trauma, we don't want to recall. And even if we are recalling also, we don't want to talk in front of people. Hota hai. Like I remember what had happened with me when I was in class 9. I won't like to talk. Even in 1:1 session also, I won't be talking. It can be because of two reasons. Number one is trauma and number two is blocking. Now, blocking is a defense mechanism, we all know. Why? Because we feel that the moment we talk, people are going to judge. Are you are like this? People are going to judge me, and hence we don't want to talk. And it's called self crisis, self identity crisis. Like too thin, too fat. Clear about loss of childhood memories? Any doubt in all these three? No doubt. Okay. Do let me know. Did I talk about the stages of inner child healing yesterday? The protected child.
Yeah.
Okay. So, okay, I spoke about you. Okay. I hope you all know about the JPMR technique. This technique.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, before starting with the inner child healing session, the moment you are start with cord cutting, it's advised that before cord cutting, you make the client in this position to make him feel very relaxed. Because for most of us, you are going to do tomorrow, you all can understand it's very like overwhelming. We can figure out that I don't want, but still we have to cut the cord. And believe me, right now also every single Sunday I do cord cutting. Now I would say why every single Sunday or every single week, because we tend to attract so many negative people in sessions. If I talk about inner child, leaving inner child also, people in the general therapeutic setup, they talk about so many negativity. And we have our aura within us, our own aura, which is getting disturbed, right? The moment someone is talking about very negative thing. Though we have to take so many negative vibes, but we don't want to be there for the whole time. And every single day, if you are doing any, I have, it's my own improvement. What I did is by doing on every single Sunday, I found myself that I'm forgiving very easily to everyone. Two things, cord cutting and forgiveness every single Sunday. And yeah, I do maintain a time zone from 9 to 10 for half an hour forgiveness and half an hour cord cutting. So my teacher said me, like my healer said me, it can be on every Monday, any other days, but I prefer Sunday because it's an off day. Again, I would start fresh from Monday. Now, the moment the client is relaxing, make sure if you know dowsing technique or pendulum technique, I hope anyone knows pendulum technique.
No,
No.
ma'am.
Okay, no need then, not an issue. Just make sure that the client is sleeping. That sleeping is sone jana. Okay. The client have to stretch the leg in the position the picture is given. And you as a healer, again, I would say you as a healer, you have to do this. But before doing, before doing, make sure you are drinking a glass of water, okay? And you have to touch, and you are having a cup while doing this one with the client. Cup, glass, anything which is filled with water. Put your two hands, like this, two fingers in the water. Now, this is very, like, very deep. Please understand this. I don't know why it is getting blurred. So, just a second. No blur. মানে কিভাবে blur করবো? Okay, I hope it's clear with you all or you all can see. It's not getting too blurred. Stop blur. None. Oh, okay. Yeah, that is perfect. This is a glass of thing. Now I'll be pouring water. Don't worry, I would be doing this technique tomorrow itself before the cord cutting session. Now, this is a huge glass. You have to drink this whole glass of water before starting with this session. Now, this is not a drowsing technique. I'm not explaining what exactly. After you are completed with this water, you have to wash this glass plain with water, cold water. Okay. Now, you have to again refill it with water. And it would be the table. I'm showing it in the hand so that it's pretty visible. Now, for example, this is the table, okay? And you all are putting only this two finger, left hand wala finger, like this, okay? And I'm holding it. It's not that you have to hold, you have to keep it in the table, okay? And when this session would be done, make sure your table is beside this, like beside the client, so that you can put the glass over there. And you have to put this two finger over here in the forehead of the client. Background में Buddhist like very soft music would be played. If you want what music I play, I would send the link. And that is the like link which I play for all the client. No other alteration. कोई option I don't give it to the client. Because different client would come up from different culture, different background and मेरे लिए वो possible नहीं होगा. ठीक है? A very soft and soothing this and this. And the only instruction is no PLR. Please don't think I'm doing past life therapy with the client. The only instruction is please forgive yourself. Whatever had happened to you, if you want, I would write the instruction in the group again. Whatever had happened to you, and your voice have to be very low. Okay? Whatever have happened to you during your childhood, please forgive your child. or please forgive your inner child, because it's like that we are often carrying that thing. I could have talked with I could have protested, but I did not do. I was so foolish. Hota hai, client says. I was so foolish. And you could have asked me why this. Okay, why I'm putting my hand and this. The moment you all are doing this as a healer, you are now no counselor, no therapist, nothing. You are abhi a healer. Kintu. Okay. The energy of the client is getting transmitted. It's the negative energy which is getting transmitted to you. And water is the best solution, that it's being passed on in the water. It's been passed on. And if you know dowsing technique, there is a drowse like pendulum wala thing, which has to be over here itself. But if it is moving, you can't. Again, I understand. It's a hell lot of practice are there to be a drowsing practitioner. Don't worry. No need of drowsing. Just this two things. Glass of water, drink it so that you are not thirsty. And even after, if you are thirsty while explaining or while doing this, please make sure you are not drinking any water or anything. What I generally do is I use it's a sort of marks, a green color marks. And I go with all sort of green because I prefer green color to be healing colors. Clear with this? It's definitely PMR, JPMR technique, but this has to be done. And yes, what you are going to do this with this water, you are going to flush it off or throw it in somewhere where it can get easily, because the negativity is not coming. There is a thought that yeah, negativity can come up. So what I do, I generally flush it off. And again, you are like now you are washing this with liquid soap, shampoo, anything, so that this is not being transmitted to you and this is not getting transmitted to other client also. And in inner child healing, we don't call someone as a client, like patient. They are the clients. इनर चाइल्ड में हम लोग पेशेंट नहीं बोलते, हम लोग क्लाइंट्स बोलते हैं. रेकी पे वी कॉल क्लाइंट्स. क्रिस्टल पे हम लोग क्लाइंट्स बोलते हैं. Like alternative healings, these are the alternative, because you are not doing any therapy. For the last few classes, did you see me talking about the therapy? No, these are not the therapy. These are the techniques or the modalities. Did you get how to do it? And please don't bring this cup or glass, whatever you have in your home back. This is my home, definitely, but my studio is separate. And yes, Dia, tell me.
Ma'am, it's a bit heavy to, yeah, I think it does take a lot of time I think it will be taking a lot of time for us as healers or as therapists to perform this. So,
Yes.
yeah, so I think maybe we can start with the minimal activities as well,
Hanji, bilkul.
and then probably go with the muscle relaxation which comes in the behavioral therapy. Uh, so ये तो mandate नहीं होगा, because I think for me, I think मुझे इतना heavy लगा वो सुनने में ही. So for me to kind of communicate with this client also, it's going to be, so we can start with the basic activities
बिल्कुल
and
basic करो ना. Who said you have to do this? Not a
बेसिक
necessary
करके,
question.
या आई थिंक अगर हमारा एक्सपीरियंस बढ़ेगा, जैसे कि आपका है, योर मोर एक्सपीरियंस, जैसे कि धीरे धीरे हमारा एक्सपीरियंस बढ़ेगा, आई थिंक दैट इज द टाइम आई कैन और मोस्ट ऑफ अस कैन डू दिस. व्हाट डू यू थिंक? लाइक जस्ट अ क्वेरी.
Bilkul, you all can do, not an issue. See, I would say what exactly happens in the 8 p.m. batch. I'm again not naming that client of mine or friend of mine. She said me, Shraddhanjali, because I was having a chat with this PMR, and she said me, I have heard of browsing and everything, and they are a bit expensive. So she said me, Shraddhanjali, could suggest कर दो which is under 2000. So I said 2000 के अंदर browsing नहीं होता है. Bilkul, I understand. But suddenly today itself, I saw Limji is coming up with a one-day webinar of 100 rupees. I gave the thing because just to have an idea of what is drowsing and what is pendulum. Okay, because see, pendulum अभी तो हाथ के सामने नहीं है. So if it is a pendulum, it has to be over here, like between your eyebrows. You have to put it over here itself. अगर ऐसे ऐसे करेगा तो it's up to you. That is a part of hypnotherapy also. Dowsing or pendulum is a small part of hypnotherapy, definitely. But again, as Ria said, can be very overwhelming for us as a healer also. I remember I started with PMR definitely at a very young age, but this hip dowsing I don't do still with many of the clients. But this hand wala technique, abhi to for the last 3 years I am doing. 3 years I did not do, but 3 years I am doing. So make sure inner child का जो therapy session होगा they are bit on that track so that you as a healer also are removing all the negative energies. Because हम सबका एक aura होता है. हम लोग बोलते हैं ना, I feel that she is very negative. We don't know that individual, but still we feel that that individual can be very negative for us. क्यों बोलते हैं? That is the aura. AURA aura. हम लोग इसलिए बोलते हैं. Every single individual do have aura. Even dogs, cat, any animal you talk about, they do have also aura. This is what aura is. Now, this is a separate thing. But this was of PMR, JPMR technique. We don't call it as JPMR, and hence I did not put up the picture of JPMR. It's only progressive muscle relaxation in inner child. हम लोग बोलते हैं तो JPMR for counseling session, for therapy session, but not for inner child session. And before ending the session, I would like to talk about the charges. Now, how many of you, I understand Dr. Tripti is practicing, Ria is practicing. So how many of you have started practicing as a freelancer or under someone? No one. Okay, okay. So let me be very honest. When you are starting with your practicing, you have to keep three things in your mind. I'm not talking about counseling practicing as an inner child. इनर चाइल्ड में दो तरह का थिंग होता है दैट यू आर प्रैक्टिसिंग एज अ हीलर, इनर चाइल्ड हीलर, एंड यू आर वर्किंग एज अ सुपरवाइजर ऑल्सो. हम लोग बोलते हैं ना सुपरविजन सेशन कौन कौन लेते हैं. सेम थिंग फॉर इनर चाइल्ड ऑल्सो. Now for supervision, it's like 5 years of practice, then only you can supervise someone. But for general sessions, the session charges are only for 20 minutes. It's not as big as counseling session. ठीक है. And counseling session में जो charge होंगे, like if your counseling session starts from 1200, inner child can be a little more, 18,000, 1800, 2000, even 2500, 3000 also. Because it's an extensive, not only because of training, you are taking so much of negativity and it's an intense process. Inner child healers, you can talk with any inner child healer, their session charges are more than their therapy like sessions. And 20 minutes, please mark my words, 20 minutes के ज़्यादा 21 minute नहीं दोगे. Even if you are starting from a very basic, like as a very fresher, as a very newcomer, you have to maintain that professionalism. ठीक है, the moment you are going for 21 minutes, take it for granted हो ही जाओगे. Number one. Number two, supervisor, to work as a supervision. उसके लिए the session would be both double. Session would be for 30 minutes and it would be both double. For example, if someone asks me, Shraddhanjali, what are your charges? I would tell what are my charges. Counseling sessions, counseling session are 1800 for 1 hour. Counseling, I'm talking about counseling and therapy. Inner child is of 2500. Inner child session and inner child supervisions are for 5000. And now, how you all are going to give sessions per basis, like per head. It's not every day you are supervising, possible nahi hoga. So you have to open slot. Shuru se, like before starting only, if you are showing the level of professionalism, it's better for you all because so that people are not taking you for granted. And please be sure, don't give pro bono session for at least inner child. Never, kabhi bhi mat dena. At least a minimal energy exchanges should be there. Otherwise, it's of no use. Because you people are also paying someone to learn something, right? So I don't prefer pro bono, and hence I said. But in general also, abhi tak I have seen so many, I have so many healers, inner child healers, they don't provide pro bono session. Okay? Now, if anyone is talking about any sort of, क्या बोलते हैं उसको, discount, definitely you can offer a discount. Make sure that you are offering not too much of discounts. And then a discount that, yeah, for 4 session, if my charges are 2000, for 4 session is 8,000, I can offer a maximum of 7,500 and not more than that. Or 7,000. And it's not for students. Students can't come alone. Papa, mummy, किसी को चाहिए for you to take the informations, because students are always lying. They are not going to tell. Like the case which I said, no, it's not my birthday. I did not celebrate my birthday. And in the picture I was saying he was there. Video में भी था. YouTube में भी वो video अभी तक है. Now, it would depend upon you all that for how many years, or for how many, after how many years you want to start with supervising. Now, again, I said supervision can occur as 1:1. Yes, I'm coming. For 1:1, and it can happen in a group for 5, not less than 5. Now, you have to create, the moment you have starting with any sort of practicing as a healer, as a therapist, you have to create, and yes, intake session. अभी तो so many names have been given. Intake session. हम लोग के टाइम में ये नेम था पता नहीं. I did not knew what is intake session. अभी पता चल गया. Intake means the 15 minutes free call. Please don't offer any sort of free calls. Never in your life offer free calls, because you are not getting anything for free. You are not getting anything. Even if you are taking something, you are paying at least 11 rupees. For example, you are paying, so why to offer free calls? It can be you are offering a discount, not too much, but no free, no free. Never ever in your life, in your professional life, you are offering free. Number 2. Third point is that don't hear what other people are saying while you are practicing. There are people, there are therapists who are going to criticize your work, your level of education. Don't answer them back. Because in 8 p.m. wala batch, someone was like, Sradhanjali, the moment I wrote that I am doing this course, so many clinical psychologists were like, and she's from Kolkata. They were like, it is an alternative feeling. Abhi psychologists are disrupting the field. उन लोग की बात में मत ध्यान दो, because you are disturbing your emotional, your physical, your every sort of health. It's a sort of thing you are learning. As I said, I learned so many modalities, but I don't use all the modalities. Because it was my choice. जिसको भी बोलना है बोलने दो. Because RCI still in India, they don't have any such rule that therapists can't become up with alternative healers. ऐसा rule नहीं है. You are not claiming yourself as a clinical psychologist. Like, you are only calling yourself as a counseling psychologist. And more than clinical, I can show you my level of work. I have worked more than a clinical psychologist have ever done. So, जो भी करना है, but yes, be true to yourself. The moment you are on your bed at night, you can tell yourself, I did a wonderful job. And if you are not knowing any answer, please tell that individual, I'll come back within some number of hours, or within 2 days, within 3 days. And yeah, please be sure with that timing. That yeah, if you say 48 hours, that means 48 hours. It should not go to 50 or 52 hours. That would again bring a question to your professional life. And never mix your professional and personal life. Yes, Valentine, tell me.
Ma'am, I had a question that, as you mentioned earlier, that students can't come alone. So what is the age criteria for students? Like,
You can take for 10 years का student भी होगा, 20 years का student भी होगा. But make sure the student is coming with the parents or the caregiver who knows something.
so like student means, for example, as our career, like we are a student till 30. So for us also, we need to have a parent.
Yes.
Okay.
we need to have, because for this, if I talk about, I know I won't tell you all to do this technique at a very initial level. You need to take the permission that I would be doing so and so thing. And if anyone knows hypnotherapy, as I said, because we are, was not comfortable, you need again to take the permission if you want to, if you want the session to be recorded because of the client issues, because there are client who says, nah, I don't know. So while hypnotizing, you need to record the session in phone, in camera, whatsoever, or in your studio if you are having a sort of camera. So inner child का separate room ही होता है. It's not that in a hospital, because hospital में where you are going to do this. Inner child जो healers होते हैं ना, हम लोग का एक separate room ही होता है. Like hospital पे नहीं, the room is like, it's a, I call it as a studio. It has to be perfectly decorated. Because hospital pay you don't have certain stuffs like to decorate the wallpapers, like posters. So I had decorated on my own. So when a student is coming, make sure the student at least till age of 18, the student is accompanied by the parents or the caregiver. After that, तो ठीक है, because see, everyone would lie. Therapy session, healing session में कोई पूरा सच नहीं बोलेगा, कभी नहीं बोलेगा. They are going to hide something, they are going to puke something, but make sure a 18 years old child is coming with a parents till 18. After that, you can work with the client all alone, and they are client, not the patient. Yeah, you wanted to say something? Okay. So, anyone, any doubt? Till down. Salman Khan is there. Yeah, Salman
Yes,
Khan.
yes.
Salman Khan, you have any question?
No, ma'am, no.
Understood about this?
Yeah, sure.
Dr. Tripti, you can stop the recording.
I stop the recording.
Yes.
Now, just a minute. So one thing I want to be clear,
Hmm.